All right. Good evening, listeners. It's evening now. Welcome to Lament of Hope podcast. I'm very, very excited. I have spent a long time tracking down Shani Wallis. And it's been such a gift to get to connect with her and finally do this interview. I know Shani from Oliver the Musical. That's actually where I got introduced to her acting and her singing. But she's done a whole bunch of things. So that's just one of many things that she's been a part of. She's what, Shani, you're over 90 now, right?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
91.
She is 91 and she has agreed to do this. And it's crazy because, I mean, Shani, you're one of the oldest actresses still alive right now, I
Oh,
think.
well, I hope it's going to stay that way for a while. But when you asked me to do Zoom, I'm not very good at all that stuff. It's all new. So I'm sorry that it took me so long to get through to you.
No, it's totally worth it. And I'm so glad it worked. Um, but, Shani, to start, just for people who may not know you, why
Yes.
don't you give kind of just a sample of what you've done throughout your life?
Well, I started when I was 4, so that's a long time ago. And then I went to RADA when I was very young, like when I left school at 15 and a half. I went to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. And I did 2 years and preparatory school as well to learn my craft. But during the time I was there, I used to sing and sing in a club. And I was seen there by a gentleman who came to the academy and would sort of come up to me at the stairs, as I was going up the stairs. Would go, "Oh, Shani, Shani, I want you to come and join this wonderful cabaret that I do. All ladies, all ladies." I said, "I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm halfway through my learning at the academy. It takes 2 years, and I got the scholarship there." So anyway, he said, "Oh, no, 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 you have to." So anyway, we go to Sir Kenneth Barnes, who was running the school, and he said, "Well, you are getting close to near finishing. Yes, you can leave." So I went with this wonderful man named Cecil Landau, who had this all girls cabaret, nightly cabaret. But the reason he asked me to join was because one of his girls was leaving to do a
Hmm.
movie. So I was taking her place, and that was Audrey Hepburn.
Oh my
Do you
goodness.
do you know?
Oh,
Audrey?
yes. Oh,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Okay. I thought I might be going a little bit, too much of that. So that's how I began my career. And then from there, I was seen by a wonderful impresario who was a band leader at the time. And he saw me, and it was a whole rigmarole. But anyway, I did like 6 shows for him. And guess what they were? They were all American. The American shows that came from America to England. Okay. And I used to play all these American roles. I first made my name in a show called Call Me Madam, but I wasn't a leading lady then because I was too young. So I played this little princess from Lichtenberg. And Anton Walbrook, a great, great star in his day in movies, played the lead. And but it was just a wonderful show. It was very successful. But I took all what do you call them? The reviews. I mean, it all came out. It was like I became a sort of a star overnight. And from then on, I did a lot of American musicals. Okay, I did Wish You Were Here. I don't know whether your audience. She was so young, Danielle. I guess your audience is young too, right?
No, actually, I have a wide range. Wide
Do
range.
you?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. And are they all over America?
Actually, most are in America, but I have some that are in Singapore and Hong Kong. I have some who are in Europe. So it's kind of,
Wow.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
that is
kind of scattered around.
fantastic. That's wonderful because I have friends in a lot of places, Australia and England. I wish I had some friends in Singapore, but I don't know any there. So sorry about that. But anyway, so going back to all these shows that I did, they were wonderful shows on the stage. And from then I was seen by Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin is much too old for you. Have
Oh,
you ever
I
heard of?
know who he is.
Oh,
Yes.
goody, goody, goody. So anyway, I did a movie with him. And after that, what was that? Oh, it was called A King in New York. And I sang, did a number in. So now what else? Then after that, oh, I don't know. I did lots of wonderful things. And then I came to America because I was doing cabaret at the time, cabaret, and I went to the Persian Room at the Plaza Hotel in New York. So that's how I was introduced to New York.
Hmm.
Do you know the Plaza Hotel in New York?
I've heard of
It's
it.
on Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
Well, there was a room there that was so famous. It was called the Persian Room, and it was played by very, very big stars. It doesn't, it's not happening anymore.
Hmm.
Because my daughter, I said, you got to go there. You got to see where I performed all those years ago. She said, Mom, there's no Persian Room anymore. But that's what happens in life.
Yeah.
Look at you. How old are you, may I ask? Or is that a no-no?
No, no, I'm 24.
24. I'll never see 24 again. But 24 is a beautiful age. What was I doing? 24. Oh, dear. Shows. That's what I was doing, shows. So, I did a lot of cabaret. I did a lot of shows, many, many shows. And what else? Movies. I've done, it's been a wonderful life.
When did
Why?
you
It's still here. I
when did you
shouldn't say that.
stop? When did you stop performing and acting and all of that?
Well, quite a while back, quite a while back, circumstances sort of got in the way. So I sort of had to stop, which was, it's bloody cold in here. May I close the door? Can
Oh
I run
yeah.
and close the door?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Oh, I mean, like, there was a draft coming in. Okay. No, I came to America, and when I came to America, I first came to New York. I did cabaret in New York, the big hotels, and then I met my manager at the Persian Room, actually, in my suite, and fell in love. And then he said, "Well, if you want to be anywhere near me, you've got to come to California." So I
Hmm.
came to California, and of course all that stage work sort of. I mean, I did a one. I went to. I wish I could show you. Can I move this around?
You can,
Or
yeah.
can you see this?
Sure.
I'd like. Well, I mean, I'd like to show you. I've got. Uh, I've got a wonderful. Do you remember the show Follies? Can you see that?
Yes. Yes, I can.
And I did it with so many wonderful people. And as you can see, there's Dorothy Lamour. Do you remember? Oh, no, I can't say, do you remember to you, can I? because you're so young, you won't remember anything. But then over here, I've got a lot of posters. I don't know how you can see the posters that I put
Oh,
on
I
my wall.
do. I see Oliver and Call Me
Yes,
Madame. Yep.
and then that's me when I was on the in wait. Oh dear, I don't know whether you can see that one. Can you?
Yes. Yes, I can.
You could see that one, and then there was me playing football with those beautiful guys. Do you see that one?
I do. Yes.
Yes. And I did a beautiful musical called A Time for Singing,
Hmm.
right? And can you see that? That was on Broadway.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when I did A Time for Singing, I had it was a what we call a flop, but it was a wonderful show, and the people in it, the music was fabulous, and the voices were incredible.
Hmm.
And Ivor Emmanuel played opposite me. We were the stars in the show. So anyway, we were devastated when it didn't work. So who should come in was Ed Sullivan. Oh, you must remember Ed Sullivan, do you?
Yes.
Okay. Ed Sullivan came to see you, and he asked me to go on his show and sing the song. This "Let Me Love You." There's no more that I can say. It was called "Let Me Love You." And who was watching it but Mike Frankovich, head of Columbia Pictures in Hollywood? And he was watching me, and he knew me from England. I was doing a show called Irma la Douce, and he saw me in Irma la Douce. Anyway, I did more shows than I got money, and I loved it. I loved being on stage.
Hmm.
So when he saw me, he asked me to come out because he said I might have a part for you. I think you're very right for this role. It was the female lead in Oliver, the musical.
Yeah, Nancy.
And that's how it all came up. But of course, what I had to go through, I mean, there were a lot of other people that were marvelous people with lots of talent. We all had to have a test, film tests, because it mattered what you look like.
Yeah.
Well, the person who did it on the stage had black hair, very black hair. So they put me in the chair when I got the role. They liked my performance and everything. And when they put me, okay, and they put these wigs on me. Well, I'll tell you, you lost my face, black wigs. And I'm looking at myself and I said, this is ridiculous. Where am I? So I said, why don't you use my own hair? Why don't you use, it wasn't as blonde as this. Because I blonde it now because I suppose I'm grey. I don't know whether I'm grey, blonde, red, or whatever, sky blue, pink. But it doesn't matter now because I'm 91,
Yeah.
Then I was red. And the people that played Nancy on the stage, all the people that played that, they were all dark haired.
Hmm.
So I said, no, it doesn't look right on me. Let me have my own hair. And then you can dump a thing on the back, a bun on the back of my head. So that's how it all happened. So they let me have my own hair, which was wonderful because, funnily enough, it gave a new perspective with that red dress. Geez, I wish I had that red dress. I think it went back to the wardrobe.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say though, did you, because Nancy is a hard character to play. She's in a really difficult relationship with someone who is very unhealthy and unsafe. And she's, feels this deep loyalty toward him, this almost savior type of character that she wants to be for Bill. Um, was that For you, did you resonate with the character at all, or did you find it very difficult? Like, was a very different personality than
Well,
you?
I didn't resonate. Nobody had ever treated me that way. So I had to take that. That's the part of acting that you um, have to assimilate. Um, what did you really want to know? If I identified with this woman hugely. I believe that domestic violence is rots the soul and should never be uh, that physical strength that he had, that domination, but it was all physical. It wasn't only physical. He mentally had, she was mentally, she says, after that first number that she does, that's full of joy, where she says, it's a fine life. It doesn't matter, if I got this and I got that, it's still a fine life. But she goes to the door and she sees him leaving with his dog. He doesn't care about her.
Yeah.
And she looks and she says, she sings, but she says, not for me, the happy home, happy husband, happy wife, though it sometimes touches me for the likes of such as me. Then she feels all this deeply. Then she says, it's a fine, fine life. So she covers it up. She knows what she goes through. But this man has a domination. And that's really, it's it it's heart wrenching because she can't leave it, even when she's in Brownlow's house. And she gives away and she goes to the door and she says, I can't leave him. I have to go back.
Yeah.
So I don't have an affiliation. I have not had that kind of domestic violence in my life, but it assimilated into my soul. It was in. I could see it. I could see the wrenching of her heart, and the depth of her, from the depth of her being, the impossibility of leaving.
Yeah.
Whatever she did for that little boy, she did for the little boy. She loved the little boy, but she still didn't leave him. And in the end, it caused her death.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I went on ranting, didn't I? You asked me a question, and I tried to answer it as best I could.
No, you did. And also, I can tell you really feel the character you play. You really
Oh,
feel
yes.
it.
Yes, yes, I
Yeah.
did. And he was overwhelming. The guy who played Oliver Reed was overwhelming. He was so big and strong. So every part was perfect, I think, in that movie. Every role that was played was just perfectly cast. Ron Moody. Ron, I love, what was funny? We did a show together and he came over to America and he says to me, Shane, everybody calls me Shane that knows me very well. Shane, he said, I'm 91. I'm 91. And I look up at Ron sometimes and I say, hey, Ron, I'm 91. But Mark Lester, Mark. He's got an osteopathic osteopathy. I don't know what he got, osteopathic clinic. Anyway, I keep in touch with him, Mark Lester,
Yeah.
the little boy.
Do you, Shani, do you think Oliver
Got me
was
in tears almost there. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was gonna say, was Oliver one of your favorite productions you think you did the best in? Or do you have one that a particular
Oh yes, you
production?
mean the movie? Oh, for sure. We had Sir Carol Reed. You can't get and Honor White. That was Sir Carol Reed directed it, as you know, and Honor White, the choreographer, and Tommy Pankow, her assistant. Come on, I mean Bloom's. And what about John Bach, who did the sets? And I mean those sets. Everything about that movie is dynamite. Everything, whether it was the sets or the choreography or the acting, Sir Carol Reed, who directed it, everybody was just perfect. I mean, you know how sometimes in life it's like things kind of gel.
Yes.
You notice that sometimes they go plonk and you think, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that was
Yes.
lousy. But then there are just those moments in time that are magical. You don't know why they're magical, they just are.
Did you have a magical time that wasn't career related? Do you have a
Well,
personal magical time?
well, yes, of course, when I married my husband, that was pretty cool and pretty magical.
Was that the director you were talking about at the beginning?
No, 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 my husband he was my manager.
Yeah, right. Your manager. That's who you're
Yes,
talking about?
yes, I was Bernie. That was the magical. You asked me if I had a. Oh, you wanted to know a magical part in the movie, a
No, no,
magical
no.
moment.
In your personal life.
I've had a lot of magical moments. Whatever's upstairs there is looked down at me, and I've been a very fortunate person. My journey in life has taught me so much. I mean, my agent one day said to me, "Hey, Shane, you want to go to Australia?" I did. The bells are ringing in Australia. Australia, I got to see the world. My brother had seven girls, and they all sing. And when they came here to America, they backed me up. It was so fun. It was so fun performing with them. My brother's kids. I mean, it's been, and I have a daughter. I have two grandchildren. What's not to like about that? My daughter Rebecca is so successful, and that's all. She's not in show business. You know what I mean? That doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing in life, look at you. Oh, may I ask how old you are? Did I ask you before?
Yes, I said 24.
20, 24. I'll never see 24 again. But 24, think about that. 24. You got a long journey. What do you want to do? I mean, besides this, zooming. I have no idea what this is all about. I really don't. It took me, what, a half an hour to find out I could find you. Anyway, so what do you want to do?
I
I mean, you, in the future.
well, I love telling stories. So I hope that I will be able to have a platform like this where people can hear people's stories and it's just a space where people talk and there's not something specific people need to say. It's just a conversation about life and people can listen to it and hopefully be encouraged in some way.
And sometimes the stories are not so good.
Oh yeah. Yes.
And sometimes they're the ones that are the most heart-wrenching.
Yes, that's true.
And is this what you do? You like to listen to other stories uh,
Yes.
from other people.
Yes.
Well, that's great. And what's important about that too is that sometimes you have to find a way of asking them hidden questions
Yeah.
that may never come up in conversation.
Yeah.
You may touch something in them, touch a nerve or touch a feeling that will transport you and them into another place, another world. So that's the important part of doing something like you're doing.
Yes, stories are very important.
And there's a lot of them.
Yes,
There's a
there are
lot.
many.
How long have you been doing this?
About a year and a half almost.
Oh, you say it like it's a long time.
Well, it's, you know why I say that? Because we've published 130 episodes so far. So that's 130 stories. So it is a lot of stories.
Yes, it is. That I mean, and have they been dynamite stories? I mean, the people, did it excite you and listening to them
Yes.
and hearing their stories?
Oh, yes. I mean, sometimes it's a hard story, like you said. I've spoken to people who've gone through some very difficult things. And so hearing their story was hard to hear, but it was good. Um,
It broadens your mind too.
yeah,
It broadens your mind too because you're very young.
that's true. But I wanted that actually makes me think, Shani, when you were a child and now you've lived 91 years, so you see what children are like now and what children are exposed to now. Do you feel that childhood is lost quicker than when you were young and a child, or do you think it's the same?
Not the same. Not the same. Look, when I was 6 years old, I was evacuated because of the World War II. So I was wrenched away and taken, but I was lucky. Even though I was taken away into the countryside, I was staying with my grandparents. God bless them. My father was deaf. My father used to aggravate us children. We were three of us. I had two brothers, much older, 6 years old and 7 years old, because he lip read. He didn't do sign language. He lip read.
Hmm.
So we would be talking to him. Maybe that's where I learned my language. But then, if he was fed up or he didn't want to listen, what did he do? Turn his back. What do you do about that? Being deaf, he could just cut you off.
Hmm.
But um, he stayed in London throughout the whole war. So did my mum through the whole of the war. But I was away. I was away. I grew up from the time I was six, all through the war. But at least, I mean, I think of children being taken away from their parents and living with strange people. That's what happened. That's what happened in that war. There are so many wars now. It seems like every time you turn around, there's another one somewhere. And as far as children today are concerned, yes, I feel they're exposed to too much. I mean, the thing that hurts me is now they have to learn. if you hear gunshots or whatever you hear, you have to run and find a way of locking doors and getting underneath desks. And I mean, all that type, I mean, that didn't exist then. And for me, it just devastates me when I hear it.
Hmm.
It is, and well, I don't want to get on that road because it's it will take me in so many different places, you know. And the only thing I could do, I have a picture of my mum and dad on my bedroom wall, and I look at them and I talk to them. It's a good thing to do if you ever need to have someone like that, or someone that maybe you have a special relationship with. It's good. But yes, my answer is yes. It's horrendous today for young children have to go through what they go through.
Was it,
Yes.
did you, was it hard for you being away from your parents for so long? Did that
Yes,
affect?
yes, but I was lucky because I was living with my grandparents. So many children were wrenched away from their uh, from their surroundings.
Yeah.
And I've lost you, have I?
No, no.
Oh, but they don't. You know what? When I first went away, it was not to my grandparents, and you know what these people did. Their profession was mole catching, mole catching. The moles that go down into the ground, and that was because they used the fur for warmth.
Wow.
Yeah, is that fun? When I tell people mole catching, moles, yes, yes. So children, I mean, the trauma of what children go through on many many levels. They learn. Sometimes they have to learn in a big fat hurry, but they learn.
What do you think's the hardest thing you've gone through in life?
I Well, I'm going to leave that. I think I'll leave that, if I may.
Of course. Of course you may. I was thinking earlier you mentioned your husband and just the magical moments you had with him. He's passed away, hasn't he?
Yes, yes, did.
That
Yes.
that must have been hard.
We were together for 51 years.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. But uh, life deals you. I mean, I had two brothers as well. That, I lost them as well. They were so talented. One was a drummer. He had his own band. The other one that's the father of all my nieces, all my lovely nieces that all sang.
Yeah.
He went to Australia with his wife, and they worked they went there apple picking first, but then he got onto a farm. He bought a farm, and he bred cows and sheep and all that. But you know what he did? He played great harmonica.
Hmm.
He used to play great harmonica. I think the sheep liked it a lot. And he also played the Fender. No, not the Fender, the stand-up bass, not the Fender. No, that that came after. I play keyboard. It is the joy of my life. The joy of my life now. is playing my keyboard.
Hmm.
In fact, I got to get a new one. It's so out of tune, but I play it day and night. It gives me so much joy. I can't tell you. What do you do for recreation that makes you excited?
Oh, I love reading and I love holding cats, actually.
You love, what did you say? Holding cats.
Yes,
Just like
I love
uh,
animals.
Taylor Swift just did that, right? Held the cat on the shoulder.
Yes. Look at you. You know all the Instagram posts. Um, I find animals very comforting.
They are terrific. We used to breed boxers. And my daughter right now, she has four dogs, three Frenchies, French bulldogs, and a big bulldog, a great big whacking bulldog. His name is Hercules, and he's fabulous. I love him.
Do you have a pet?
No, not at the moment. I keep thinking about it, but I'm too old. I say to myself, Shane, what's going to happen? I'm too old. I
But you
think
seem so active and your memory
I
seems
am.
pretty good. I was gonna say, I think you could have a pet.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
It would only be a dog. I'd not only go to the pound. You know,
Oh,
I'd go to the.
to save a
I'd
dog.
say one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I could be your friend. You know that.
I'm glad. You know, Shani, I was gonna ask you too, with your husband, what was a special moment with him that you remember?
My first moment, the first time I ever met him, I was playing the Persian Room in New York, and he was a manager. He used to, he knew Eddie Fisher from years ago. Do you know Eddie Fisher? For you, you probably don't. Eddie Fisher?
I recognize the name, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I'm sure some of your, are all your people young that listen in to
No,
your podcast?
no, we've got some older people too.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. And don't call me old. You can call me an older person, but not
Okay.
old. But anyway, they would know Eddie Fisher. They would know Eddie. And my husband grew up with him and managed him. And, so he had a partner, and his partner knew me. His partner's name was Bob Abrams. But anyway, they knew me, and they came to the front door of my suite at the Persian Room at the Plaza Hotel. And I opened the door. He walked into the room. That was it.
You
That was
just
it.
knew, huh?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. I don't know. It was that awful saying, love at first sight, you know. Bloody cold in here. You know what it is? I put on this fancy blue blouse, and I was thinking to myself, well, I sort of have to look kind of nice. But really, I'm usually like wearing something pajamas or something warm, something on that keeps me warm. So I'm a little bit chilly. I'm a chilly willy Shaney.
I get easily cold too.
Oh! I've got a podcast. Don't let me forget to tell you.
Oh, go ahead and tell me.
Pride and Prejudice. I narrated Pride and Prejudice
Did it just come
recently.
out?
No, it hasn't. It hasn't come out yet.
Okay. Do you know when it's coming out?
No, no, I don't. I'm not very good with those things. I mean, if my husband were here, he'd say, well, but no. But look out for it. I'm the narrator, and I narrate. I did it in 2 days. Can you believe that? That whole book.
Wow.
Yeah, it took
What
me.
was like 8 hours a day or?
Well, no, yes, probably. I don't know. We did half and half. Most of it on the first day. And the lady that did came here. Elizabeth, and she came into the house and muted the windows and we had to get it right for the sound. Like you, where are you? I see pictures on the wall. Are you
I'm
in
in,
your house?
yes, I'm in my office.
Ah, that's your office. What are those pictures on the wall?
Those are actually my husband. He's a,
Oh,
he does
I
lots of
didn't know you were
plays.
married. I'm sorry?
Yes, he does lots
Yeah.
of plays.
Does he?
Yeah,
Well, he's an actor or he's a director or what does he do?
well, community plays. So an actor. Yeah.
Oh, he's the actor. He's an actor.
Yes, he loves
Oh,
doing that.
oh, he loves it. Oh, and does he do anything else, or does it, sometimes today people seem to be multi-talented and do so much.
Yes, I mean, he works for a digital company.
Ah,
He does sales, but that's how he makes his money. You don't make money doing community theater.
that's right. That is right.
You don't.
Understood. Understood.
Well,
Hmm.
Shani, before we end, because I want to be respectful of your time, it's been almost an hour, which is
Oh, I'm
crazy.
sorry.
No,
I
no,
just
no,
natter too much. Tap, tap, tap,
no.
tap, 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 tap.
I
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, your voice is still beautiful. You were singing just a little bit earlier. Do you know if you could sing some of oh, what's that called from Oliver, that song, As Long as He Needs Me? I love that
Yes.
song. Can you
Yes.
sing some of that?
As long as he needs me, I know where I must be. I'll cling on steadfastly as long as he needs me. I miss him so much when he is gone. But when he's near me, I don't let on the way I feel inside. The love I have to hide. The hell I've got my pride as long as he me. Well, anyway,
Oh my
that's about it.
goodness. Your voice
Oh,
is
I was
so
crying by
beautiful.
the end.
I hope I sing like that when I'm 91 and I'm not just cracking the entire time.
Oh no, I mean, I love to sing
It's
still.
beautiful.
Oh no, it's okay, but I get through somehow or another.
Well, Shani, thank you so much. I loved meeting you and doing this.
Well, I love meeting you too. You're so young. You're 24, right? Didn't you say
Yes.
you were 24? I remember. Well, you've got a long journey ahead of you. Not like me, you know, but you'll have a lot of memories. That's what is the best part. You'll have good memories. You have a obviously you have a good husband, and I hope you have a wonderful life and a wonderful journey ahead of you with lots of good things.
Oh, thank you, Shani. Well, you have a good day, okay?
Thank you very much. I'm sorry it's been so long.
No. Bye. Thank you so much.